They think they need more reps. Why the are you hiring more reps right now when you can't even decide which accounts you actually want to be talking to?
It's not entirely these VP of sales' fault because it's all they know. All right, welcome back to another episode. I'm Ronen Pessar, and with me is Ryan Reisert. We are the Outbound Operators. We're going to be dropping the show daily, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk about all topics under the sun as it relates to Outbound, and today we're going to talk about the signs to look out for. Are you really ready for Outbound or not yet? So let's get into the details of what to look for to know if you're actually ready to go scale up Outbound. All right, so you think it's all about the tools. You think it's all about the talent. You think it's all about the things that it's not about. So, yeah, Ryan, you were about to rant. Don't let me stop you.
Yeah, I mean, we get into conversations often. Most people are going to come to us because they're, looking to build Outbound, or they say they want to do Outbound, or they're wanting to scale, right? And somebody in their organization did some math somewhere on some spreadsheet and said that, we're going to go and get to a certain revenue target. In order to do that, we need so many meetings, and that's kind of where it stops. They go, we need meetings. Let's go now hire some SDRs, or let's go buy some technology, hire some SDRs, and then the meetings will occur. But what they don't understand is that that entire mindset is fundamentally flawed. Nobody takes the time to actually continue up the funnel to figure out, are they even ready for Outbound, right? Now, we come in and we try to solve that for people. We have a way to quickly show them, if you think you're ready for Outbound, get us a list. These should be accounts that you actually want to sell to, people within those accounts you actually want to talk to. Ronen, what percentage of people can get us that list like tomorrow?
Very few. It's like maybe 10%, like 1 in 10.
Okay, and then when they get us that list, we take that list. We're ready to make calls within 2 business days. Typically, we could show up and start making calls. And in that time frame, we show them that they're going to get information from that list that would have taken an average team, in some cases 3, 4, 5 months, to get the same level of insight that we'll deliver in 2 hours. And what we always expose right out the gate is a couple things. Number one, why is that account on our list? Even the ones that can produce it. Why is that account? Why are we talking to them? That doesn't seem like it's a good fit. And then why are we talking to those people? Okay? So when they come to us, they think they have a tech problem. Oh, it's not going to work out because we're on HubSpot. They think they need more reps. Why the fuck are you hiring more reps right now when you can't even decide which accounts you actually want to be talking to and which people within those accounts you want to be talking to? And then they have the balls to tell us that the investment in working with us is it's expensive. They can't justify the cost, but the reality is they're going to spend more money and a lot more fucking time getting to the answer that we're telling them right now. That's going to take them 6, 8, 10, 12 months to determine where they go and find, onboard, hire, fire, onboard a new technology, blame the technology, blame the data, blame the rep. Here's my hypothesis. This comes down to the person that's in charge of building out this go-to-market engine in the first place. Number one, most people don't know how to do it, so they turn to all these different people. And or guidance on LinkedIn and whoever the fucking latest guru is, or now this new hot thing is these go-to-market engineers that come up with these random ass like ideas that they talk about. Oh, you could do all this with the data points, but when it comes to reality, they're not producing the result.
Show me the money. Show me the money.
So what happens is, and this is my thesis. This is my conspiracy theory, if you will. Let's just look at the average tenure of a sales leader in an organization these days, and what it really comes down to. And I've seen this with the agencies we work with. I see this with customers that we onboard sometimes, where I'm like, oh yeah, that person's going to be a potential challenge because they're coming in, they talk this big game. We're going to go build out all these things. It takes time. We're going to go get these people. It takes time. And then they go in, they evaluate all these tools. They finally select one, knowing in the back of their mind that they're selecting that one so that they can blame that one and expand their shelf life. They're going to go hire the reps. They're going to onboard them and make them go build the list and do the activities, which they're going to waste 80-90% of their time doing activities to a list that's never going to result in an outcome that they're actually after. And then they're going to sit there and say, hey, where's the meetings? And you just got to do more. And it's more with meetings with people that we don't actually want in the first place because, again, the list is fucked, right? Expand the shelf life, expand the shelf life. So this happens quarter after quarter after quarter so that leader within the organization can collect their, six-figure salary, which they're happy with their base. Clearly, they're not there for the upside. And they're just collecting that until they get fired.
Well,
then they go
Ryan,
on LinkedIn and bitch about it, and they say, oh, it's hard, and then they move on to the next one.
Look, your conspiracy theory is not totally off, but you're missing a really crucial part of it, which is it's not entirely these VP of sales' fault because it's all they know. Like, you talk about it as the sales acceleration industrial complex, which is this very insidious and very ubiquitous idea across outbound technology, all of the tools out there, that if you look at how they make money, it's not about getting you revenue, it's selling seats. It's activity. It's activity, it's quantity. And the oldest playbook in the outbound world is the do more playbook, which is honestly the best litmus test of any VP of sales, CRO's actual knowledge and value and strategy that they can bring to the table is how fast do they turn to that playbook. If they turn to that playbook from day one, you want to run for the hills. That person is not going to be able to lead you to the Holy Land. They're not going to be able to get you that hockey stick growth. And that hockey stick growth is the holy grail, and at least in the SaaS world, the B2B SaaS world. We want to see that growth where it's whoop, all of a sudden you're just growing insanely fast. But most people never get there, and in the meantime, the 98% of companies that don't get there are just paying for all these tools, and they keep turning to the tools and the solutions to essentially accelerate a really bad strategy. Do more. Just do more faster. And that's how we got into the situation today where emails go to spam. It's because for 10, 15 years, SDRs were given spam cannons for email. And now look at it. It's impossible to land an email in an inbox unless you go through a 27-step rigmarole with 3 to 4 weeks of setup. Look at the phones. Pickups are consistently going down, 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 down. You used to be able to just pick up a phone and call from a list. Now if you do that, you're getting a 1 to 5% connect rate on that list. And if you look at social, it's just filled with self-promotion and usually just selling the salespeople anyway. And plus, companies like LinkedIn are cracking down on all this stuff as well. I've seen just Apollo went through something recently. All these companies that have these safe LinkedIn automation, they get shut down eventually. And when it comes back to the fundamental question you asked at the beginning of this, are you ready for outbound? Actually, it's got to be the first question with if you cannot emphatically say yes to this, and we can go through some signs that you're ready for outbound, but if you cannot emphatically say yes to this, don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Go directly to jail, or in this case, go to the place where you can check these boxes. So what are the key boxes to check to know I am ready for outbound?
Outbound is marketing, right? And it's hyper-targeted conversational marketing if you're using the phone. The other channels you can hack them together as basically ad channels here. But the list is the strategy. So if you're sitting there saying, okay, we have to go and get more meetings because we need more pipeline, we're ready to go. Well, can you answer the question, rattle off a list of enough accounts by the name of the accounts that you want to actually prospect into? Can you do that? And if you're still not there, that you're coming up with this the market's huge. There's so many companies out there. I would really challenge you that before you go and hire a bunch of people to do the work to say, we actually have 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 companies that look just like the organizations that we're already serving, that are already paying us money to do what we need to do to justify the investment of a sales development team.
Totally.
Now, that's very different than if you're a founder and you're just trying to find traction and you're trying to get, if you're a founder that's going to do this work, then you're going to come up with some ideas and go and talk to people and build
You're in test mode anyway. I'm
talking about building out an infrastructure, a real system that's ready to bring in somebody outside the organization that can actually be successful above and beyond a founder, right? A founder that knows what they're doing, or an expert, a real senior sales professional that knows how to hunt, right? If a company hired you or me, we could come in and do some of these things. But that's still way to go in outbound, right? I have this
and by the way, let's be clear, right? You can use outbound in your experimentation phase
of course
before you're in product market fit. That's fine. But in this case, we're talking about after that stage. Like, you're ready to go scale outbound.
Yeah, if you're going to use it for experiment stage, then call a spade a spade. Don't go try to hire 10 SDRs to do experiments.
Right,
like, you need to control the variable. Find one
good
one.
And the thing is still true here. You still need to be able to start with your capability of identifying an account and a person at that account that you want to be in a sales conversation with. If you can't build that list, even in your experimentation phase, and then in that case, you want to just align it with what's my hypothesis, what I think is true, and then go test it with that message, with that persona when you can talk to them. But like, it's still the same fundamental operation. Build the list. The list is the strategy. You got to be able to do that first and foremost, no matter what.
Yeah, you have to know where to identify these accounts. You have to know who within those accounts you probably want to talk to. And again, if you're in experiment stage, you can come up with a hypothesis. That's fine. We want companies that look like this, and maybe you're not ready to go through them. But it's like, hey, I'm willing to invest in learning. That's fine. You want to go and do that, you can do that. You can shortcut the time it takes to look at a fucking website if you want, but I'm going to challenge you. You started off with, maybe we should talk about CAC. You're going to destroy the cost efficiency of just going and doing something if you don't take the time ahead of time. Like, you could take 2 days to review a list and chop it down to the ones that you actually want to talk to and save yourself 2 months of actual work, because it's going to take that much time to get through all of those accounts and all those people within those accounts to learn something you could have figured out by clicking the fucking website in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And it's the people as well. Like, you may not know the exact title role yet. You're going to come up with, hey, maybe we want to talk to these people, we want to talk to this people in your experiment phase, but that also should be aligned to what the heck we're going to say to them. I see this all the time where it's like, all right, here's our accounts, now let's go after this department, this department, this department, and they put it all in the same list, and then they expect a rep to call through that, and they're switching in between messages, and then you're not getting information in a short enough period of time to actually understand if you're on track or not, right? Mm-hmm. This conversation was with this company about this. Different industry, different persona, we got an outcome. Next conversation, different industry, different persona, different outcome. Through the course of the day, especially if you're dialing without what we know is the best way to do it is just calling people to pick up, you're only having 3, 4, maybe 5 conversations a day across 4 different verticals and 3 different personas. There's no fucking signal. You need to be very, very, very targeted and compress the amount of time to that information to like actually get a signal and an insight, right? Because if you take the math of markets, how many people are buying now, how many people are open to it, how many people aren't thinking about it, know they're not interested, and think they're not interested. You have 5 conversations a day. I expect out of 5 conversations that probably all of them are not interested. So
exactly.
You're going to feel like, oh, I got to adjust, Well, even out of 10, like if I call 10 people,
maybe you get one.
Still not even there though mathematically. Mathematically, the person that's buying now would be 1 out of 33. Okay,
right,
so
right.
Like, again, I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall. But then here's the other thing that people get stuck on with the tools. It's like, oh, well, how do we get the intent data? Probably one of the biggest frauds, and you're seeing a lot of this getting posted these days, one of the biggest frauds to hit the market over the last decade has been this intent data business. Because it's like, yeah, there are certain types of signals that can help you, but I would tell you that's not going to matter until you actually have the conversation with the organization.
Yeah, you can't really shortcut this. The intent data industry is, again, just another chapter of the sales acceleration industrial complex. Here's another thing that will not lead to more revenue, but will lead to more credits being used, more seats being purchased. I have very specialized data that tells me that an account of yours is ready now, so you should prioritize reaching out to them. All right, is that correlation or is that causation? It's definitely not causation. If
also,
you're
from
lucky,
a timing perspective and an outbound perspective, those people that are already there, unless you're a market leader,
I haven't seen it work. I haven't seen it work. I don't know if you have, but like it just seems like a mystical creature. Like, everyone talks about it like it's real, and I have not yet met a single go-to-market operator who has successfully leveraged a repeatable playbook around an intent data of any kind. Now, there's some basic first-party ones, like if someone goes to your website, that's a little different. right? But then there's like the buying the data second or third party from someone else, like from a Sixth Sense or one of these other companies. You look, try it for yourself. If you don't believe us,
Yeah.
you probably won't see results.
The reality is this, okay? If you're going to go outbound, number one, you should not be investing in outbound if you think that outbound is the silver bullet to get you revenue now. So that's number one, right? It's a
hot take.
It's a long investment strategy. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're saying, hey, I want to hire reps because I need something now, you're already set up to fail, right? You just are. It's going to take longer. Okay. Number two, within that same, so you have to have a time horizon that's big enough. It's going to be experiments. It's going to be learning. And it's going to be about categorizing your market, bucketing your market into those who are buying, those who are open to it, those who aren't thinking about it, those that are not interested. The best intent signal is identifying every individual that's already using something that is competitive or is already getting the job done.
Yep.
Because right then and there, we talk about this all the time. It's like, oh, they're using this thing. So many organizations disqualify them out. But in fact, that's the best
qualified.
intent.
Right.
That is as most qualified as you want.
They're
Like,
already spending money on a solution that you
Right.
compete with. The question is just, could you ever have a foot in the door to, displace that or to, offer an alternative? But like,
and most people will be like, oh, that's not worth our time right now because we can't sell to them right now. It's like, you weren't going to sell to them right now anyway. But like, that's the outbound, long strategy. And then with that is like, okay, I have to have a long look at this, and I have to know, like, I have to have the list. I have to know that there are enough accounts and enough people for me to spend time going after and justify a full-time resource into that. Because if I say I'm going to try this out, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else, that's where outbound fails. You go spend 90 days going and having a bunch of conversations, learning who's ready, who's not, and getting to a position where you have all these right people that are not ready now, and then you just give up on it. Like, that's a super expensive endeavor, and the cost of acquisition that everyone brings into the equation, where they look at these top of funnel metrics that, again, don't matter. Like, what's my cost per meeting? Your cost per meeting doesn't matter, right? We talked about this a little bit in the past. There are people that will take meetings that will just take meetings for meeting's sake. So it's not about meetings, it's about revenue, and it's not about how many results can I get right now. It's how quickly can I get into my market to learn the information about where they're at.
And that right there, Ryan, is the shift, I think, that is so key to highlight. It's outbound is not an immediate payoff. You have to be thinking long. It's long strategy. What that also means is when you do have the conversations with the right people, that is a valuable outcome, because now that contact is a high priority follow-up. The person who you've had the conversation with that isn't a now, they're not now, maybe they have a reason to not be interested because they're using a competing solution. That's so valuable, because forget all the intent data in the world, you now have the right person at the right account who has some level of qualification. I just have to follow up with them. So if I'm going to deploy outbound, I have to be ready to not see immediate return on the revenue in the short term, like 3 to 9 months. I've got to be able to think longer than, like, call it even 12 plus months for it to be consistently turning out revenue.
To where it's a point where it's predictable, right? The idea of predictable revenue. Like, give it 12 to 18 months, it will start to get predictable. Your CAC will go down. It's going to look high. You will win some deals via outbound early. You can. I mean, we have examples of, they started, they engaged, timing was perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, sure. They happen. You get bluebirds every once in a while, and
it's that follow up. And if you looked at the immediate cost of that actual lead through the entire funnel, as long as you don't give up on them, it's going to go down over a period of time.
Absolutely. So I've got to have the ability to build that list. I've got to have the long-term mindset to buy in, and I've got to have the last piece you're saying here, the ability to do the follow-up, to categorize and classify what is happening on every interaction, and then do the follow-up when it comes due without missing it.
And this is the key here with where some of this falls all the time. I see this all the time. Most organizations don't have I need more leads problem. They have a sales organization that's not following up with the leads that they already have to a decision. Just like the hypothesis, the conspiracy theory that the sales leader might be evaluating lots of tools, might be bringing in people just so that they have people to fire, to blame themselves, expand their shelf life. It's the same thing with your sales organization. They are putting things in their pipeline, saying that they have opportunities, not actually following up with them to get to the next step.
To keep the shelf life longer, yeah.
To get the shelf, it's like, oh yeah, I'm engaged, and they're kicking things out instead of keeping the momentum on a deal. I know it, you know it, everybody in sales knows that like real legitimate opportunities that are opportunities now, they move swiftly.
Yes,
if you were looking at a graph of engagement, they're going to take the next meetings, they're going to move things on.
Yeah.
If that's happening, you probably have a deal. If it's not, it doesn't mean you don't have a future deal, but you shouldn't be sitting there saying, I have an opportunity, and it's not even really pipeline. This is the funnel above the funnel. That is a priority follow-up. It's somebody who's activated, but is not ready
Is not ready right now. Yeah.
No.
And that's the biggest difference is the ones that are ready right now move faster, and they're ready to go to the next step. So that fourth piece is that you have the right sales team in place in terms of what their activities look like and how well they're able to classify and follow up with real opportunities, and then keep track of and stay on top of the not ready, not now opportunities and continue to work them. But being able to discern between the two means probably more accurate forecasts and ultimately putting time and attention towards deals that really have a shot at closing.
If your funnel looks like a big, fat, wide thing where there's a big net in all the stages, you're doing it wrong, right? It should look like a nail. Very fat at the top as you're starting to activate your market, right? Everything's in this awareness phase. You want to get everybody as aware as possible, and then when deals go, they go really fast through. These stages in the middle, there should not be that many. They just shouldn't. And again, I'm going to get all these critics like, oh, it takes time. That's your definition. That's your definition of what you're considering an opportunity, but when it comes to how an organization looks at what's available to get worked, we're spending way too much time at the top of the funnel, just trying to generate meetings, and then we have all this stuff in the middle that they're calling opportunities that just get stuck, and then we don't spend enough time in there at the right time to move them through. We should be moving the middle up with priority follow-ups, talking to them once a quarter, and then when there's real opportunities, we should be strategic in moving them through. What do I need to do now? And that's the timing stuff. People that are ready to go, when they're ready to go, they go. And you have to develop that relationship with your prospects to let them know, look, if you're not ready now, that's not a problem. But you have to get into that individual's focus. What are their priorities right now? If you're not the top priority by definitions of priorities, it's not going right now.
Exactly.
It's not going right now.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Everyone's top priority is moving now. Everyone's second will come after, and third after that. Now you can get in line and stay on top of it and not be a fucking idiot and not follow up in the right times, but also don't do stupid shit to try to move them when the time's not right. Anyway.
Well, let's do this. We'll wrap this episode up. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Hit subscribe. We're going to have a lot more of these videos coming out. If you want to see any specific topics, please do let us know. And don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn and wherever else we have content. Again, this is Outbound Operators. I'm Ronen. This is Ryan. And stay tuned for the next episode.